All right, big boy. You tweeted something out. You said, what did he say, Limits? Read him his own tweet.
One word to describe Russell Wilson's tenure with the Steelers: scapegoat.
You think that he was a scapegoat. Tell us why.
Well, I was referring to the last 5 games of the season and how everything went south. I think a lot of people blaming Russell Wilson for those last 5 losses and how the season just totally imploded on itself. And partly that's the reason, but that's the only thing people want to talk about right now. That's the reason why they struggled down the stretch. And you only needed 2 eyes and 1 brain to realize there was much wrong with this team that led to that, as well as Russell Wilson. I mean, you have a defense that was a sieve, giving up 22 play drives. You had an offensive line that couldn't block. You had a running game that was non-existent. You had just wide receiver crew at one point consisting of Van Jefferson, Calvin Austin, and Scotty Miller. So when I say scapegoat, I said people were really looking at that is the reason why they went 0-5 down the stretch. And
so you didn't mean that
it's not the only reason.
Yeah, you didn't mean that the Steelers were making him a scapegoat, did you?
No.
Okay.
No. Well, no, because I just think that he's going to be remembered by being a guy that just can't play football anymore, and the 0-5, getting run out of the building 4 of the last 5 weeks of the season. And the scapegoat is not much has been really said about the defense, and that's much more, and that's just as much his fault as anything else.
Yeah, well, I said that earlier to Joe. I think that's the one thing that the Russell Wilson and all quarterback talk tends to dominate over everything else, but that defense allowed way too much and made it too easy for the other team. But you had something else to say? No?
No, Bob. I'm sitting back in my chair watching you.
No, I meant Joe because I thought he had something more that. But, hey, let's talk about this now. Russell Wilson, all right, New York. Jerry Dulac says he wanted to be here until the very end, and it didn't work out. So what did they not like about him after they went to him as a starter in Week 7?
That's a good question. I mean, nobody knows for sure. I mean, Russell's not going to say anything. That's not his personality. The Steelers aren't going to say anything publicly, but, you can do the math and use your brain here as well of trying to figure out what really happened here. And, I mean, he still played well enough to be in the conversation here at the end, but obviously there's some other stuff that was going on behind the scenes where I would tend to believe that they chose Arthur Smith over Russell Wilson. And I think that's just using common sense right there. I mean, if you're at this point now, where are we at? 3-4 weeks into free agency and still not making a move to that guy, one of 2 things must have happened. You don't want him back, or you're pretty sure that Aaron Rodgers is going to sign here. And I think both of those things are kind of true right now. So that's the way it is.
All right, so that means Aaron Rodgers is left out there, but there's a part of me that wonders this delay that we're seeing here. Joe and I talked about this earlier, that Minnesota, could they have been, re-engaged here? Maybe Rodgers came here, heard what he had to hear, and went back to them, because there are some reports out there that indicate that maybe Minnesota isn't done because they haven't necessarily said that J.J. McCarthy is their opening day starter.
Yeah, probably the same reports that said that Aaron was going to go visit the Giants the next couple of days, right?
Wow.
Things that tend to get thrown out there right now. When one thing happens, there's a counteraction to it. Once the Minnesota decision came out, so to speak, it was, maybe he'll wait until somebody gets hurt in the preseason, even though you didn't hear anything about that. Nobody really knows right now. I don't get the sense at all that retirement is on the table. I think I would be pretty much stunned if he came out and said, I'm retiring. What is he waiting for? I mean, there's no really true options out there. Maybe he isn't waiting for something. Maybe he's just wanted to see what they had to say on Friday. Now sleep on it for a couple days and make sure this is what it is. But I don't think Aaron really has that many options right now. There's not going to be a surprise team that comes up.